Thanks for tuning in to the Empire Boxing Podcast. A huge thank you to our partners at Sting Boxing. It doesn't matter if you're into boxing for fitness, as an amateur, or as a pro, Sting has something for you. Head to their website, stingsports.ca, and use the code EMPIRE10 at the checkout to receive 10% off.
An Empire Boxing and Unlearning Network production.
Welcome back to another episode of the Empire Boxing Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jay, and I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Jon Quinit. Jon was a 2-time national champion, 3-time national team. In 2009, the Francophone Games bronze medalist, 2010 ringside champion, and now he's the owner and the head coach of Quinit Boxing Club and the second vice president of Boxing BC. And you're an Instagram influencer now.
It's crazy, right? Yeah.
Let that resume roll out. Jon, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Like, it's all hardcore. You're like lights
Right?
and everything. Yeah, I'm a little intimidated.
Oh, no, that's great. This has been a long time coming, I think. This is definitely, you've been someone I've really wanted to talk to for a while and have on the show. So yeah, I'm glad we got to line it up. I think all schedules, but especially yours might be the hardest to tap into.
For sure, yeah, it's been pretty crazy lately.
How much traveling are you doing right now with some of your pros?
So finally we got some little downtime now. We're probably not traveling until May maybe. We're going to a Vegas tournament over there, but I just got back from Boston with River there. Yeah. Our second fight. After that, I was in Brampton for Nationals and Brampton Cup. Then right after that, we went straight into Pacifica, California for an all-women's card tournament.
Is that the Beautiful Brawlers
Beautiful
card?
Brawlers, yes, exactly.
Awesome. And who was fighting in that? Jana?
We got 6. Yeah, we got a bunch. Yeah, we did pretty well.
Amazing.
Kat got to the finals.
That's right, Kat was there too.
Shana got to the finals. She unfortunately popped her shoulder out in the 3rd round.
No.
Yeah, so we had to stop it, but we were fighting a pretty good girl. She was got a silver at Nationals. So she was pretty good, and then we were winning every round. Her shoulder popped out.
Is this something that happens? Because I know shoulders can be quite finicky. Like when they start to sublux, they'll kind of keep going.
It's her first time.
Wow. Okay.
Let's hope it's the last time.
Yeah.
We brought her to the doctor this week and saw my brother this week, and she's still good. We got a card on March 18th. Okay. So she's still good to fight, which was just great.
Nice.
So nothing too serious.
All of the banded, all the things, I'm sure at this point.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
cool. Well, we wish Shana a good recovery and all the best. So let's talk about you. I was doing a little digging, as I do. And your journey began in the nondescript orb of martial arts. Talk to me about that. What did you start into, and how did it evolve to boxing?
Yeah, my pops put me in Seeker on this a Filipino martial arts when I was 5 years old.
Okay.
So it's kind of I don't remember anything else. I was just doing it right away.
5 years old.
5 years old, man.
Yeah.
Like doing splits and forms and stuff like that. So it's like very taekwondo sparring.
Okay.
So it's very similar to the point sparring in boxing before it went to the 10-must system. So you land one shot and then they separate and they say who scored the point.
Right. Okay.
So I was doing that kind of stuff, kind of like Karate Kid, except it's not continuous. The only Karate Kid there's continuous.
Yeah.
But in there it's like 1 point and then they separate.
Right. Okay.
So I did that since I was like 5 till like, I like to say 11, 12. But being Filipino, I've always been around boxing. Like one of my first memories of boxing was the Mike Tyson fight when he bit Holyfield. We were just at my uncle's spot. Filipinos, we have like 40, 50 people deep to watch boxing fights.
Yes.
So I'm just a kid running around and stuff like that. And I hear my uncles and stuff like yelling and like, oh, what's that? What's going on?
Yeah.
And I remember seeing it.
That was
and
such an iconic moment, wasn't it? Like anyone that grew up in our era remembers that for sure.
Yeah. So that was one of my first memories. And again, just being Filipino, I remember watching B-Hop in Trinidad when I was a kid, and Thrilla in Manila, knowing the infamous Thrilla in Manila, and just it's a big part of our history. So I was always around kind of combat sport, and boxing was always kind of a
So it slowly started kind of creeping into the forefront. And then what was your first memory of, going to a boxing gym or a boxing class or having a lesson, introducing yourself to a coach? Like, how did that go for you?
Yeah, so my dad has an uncle out in California, and I remember going to a trip with our whole family. And he fought out of Guam. He's a pro fighter. And Flash Alorde, before Pacquiao, there was a guy named Flash Alorde, just an absolute king of the Philippines. He's a beast. He's the longest reigning featherweight champion I think he still reigns. He still has that title.
Wow.
And he boxed, and I remember going there as a visit, and I didn't want to box, actually. I wanted to kickbox, and my brother wanted to box, and my dad's like telling my grandfather or his uncle, like, oh yeah, my sons want to box and stuff like that. I'm like,
Yeah. No, I don't.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
Don't let me in.
So my brother, actually, when we came back from that trip, my brother was eating it all up, and he joined a gym in Winnipeg. I forgot what it's called. Orioles.
Okay.
And it's a pretty prestigious gym. Alex Pawanovic.
Okay.
I think you guys know him pretty well. He was a national champion out of that gym. Ryan Savage was out of that gym. There's a really well-known coach named Reg Bruno. And my brother went there to learn how to box. And he would come home and teach me some stuff.
Yeah.
And I joined a kickboxing gym. And I wanted to kickbox, but my brother would come home and teach me some stuff. And I was noticing that my hands are a lot more natural than my feet.
Right.
So me and my brother joined the gym at Gojo. Was our first gym that we joined. It was on Sherbrooke in Winnipeg. And that was the first time. Yeah. Cool.
And then, so your brother and you both stuck with it for quite a while too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He went to nationals. He won one year. I think me and my brother, having someone in the household really pushed me.
Yeah.
And me and him could just.
Were you guys competitive to each other as well?
Oh yeah. Yeah, big time. But I'm the younger one, so I was the one that was I was able to give my all. About my brother, he's like, I can't go all the way. Held back a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, just being able to go home and just shoot the shit about boxing.
Yeah.
Like almost all the time, which is nice. And
it exponential, it just makes your learning just exponential, doesn't it? Just being around that, having that as a family culture, and then a culture that you kind of go to outside of your home as well.
Yeah.
So talk to us about what happened in 2012. You were doing some Olympic prep, and then you had a pretty serious concussion.
Yeah. So I was on the team from 2009 till 2012. The dream was Olympics. I fought Olympians, beat Olympians. Like I was at that level. Like it wasn't like a pipe dream. Like it was very doable. I lost an Olympic qualifier, and I got pissed off when I got home. I just kept training. Didn't deload, nothing. Kept training, got a couple fights. And I had one sparring session where I got like a pretty big whiplash kind of punch.
Right.
And I've been hit like that before. And I was like, whatever. I finished the spar. The next day I had like concussion-like symptoms. And it's the first time I've ever felt that. Like kind of like you're feeling like you're hungover a little bit. First time I've ever felt that. The day after that, it went away. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'm good. Let's fucking keep training. I got a strength and conditioning coach and a nutritionist. Like I was like, I don't want to lose again. Like I want to go to the fucking Olympics.
Yeah.
And then I sparred the next week after that. Nothing big. Boom, boom, catching everything. Not even a whiplash kind of punch.
Yeah.
The day after that, I had a fucking crazy headache.
Were you nauseous
months.
And everything like that? Oh no.
For absolutely, yeah. And the science back then wasn't too, like there wasn't that many things that you can do. Like nowadays you could go a physiotherapist and they would know like your vestibular system, your balance, and they could fix it pretty quick.
And all that neuroplasticity research and everything now.
So I didn't see the right doctor until like a year after. And if you don't kind of tackle it right away, the longer the recovery is. Yeah. So I unfortunately had to give it up. Yeah. And
how did that feel at the time, having that Olympic dream sort of taken away?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the toughest time of my life for sure. Yeah. Like those 4 years, I was all in. Going around in Winnipeg and like, hey, what's up, champ? Hey, what up, champ? You're the boxer. Hey.
It's just like salt in the wound at that point, right?
Yeah, it was just so much of my identity, and I didn't have anything else. So when it was gone, it was very, very tough. So I kind of tell my athletes now, like, find an identity outside of the sport. It's just a sport, man. It's just this small of your life. You have a whole life after that, man. So I learned it the hard way. Luckily, I'm still a part of the sport now. But I think even if I wasn't a part of the sport, the struggle that I went through to find myself and find myself outside of the sport, I think I would have figured it out anyways, even if I wasn't a part of the sport.
You see that a lot especially in pro sports too. Like even at an Olympic level, anything that takes that level of dedication and commitment, where everything else in your life is sacrificed for this one thing. We've talked about this before on the podcast. Is how do you not tie your identity to that at that time, right? And it was interesting listening to Sarah Pusek talk about it as well, because she always had that in the forefront of like, this is not my only thing. And I'm also a this and I also do that. And she said that really helped her weather retiring from being a pro and having a life and not feeling like she was kind of missing out on something. But at the same time too, like you got to be all in. So it is really hard. So it's super good advice to give the young athletes, right? They need to hear that.
For sure.
Especially in those moments. Because no one ever wants that moment to happen, but sometimes it slaps you in the face, like literally.
Totally.
And when did, so we've got your amazing counterpart here. Your I don't know, better half? Yeah?
The wifey,
Yeah? Okay. How did you guys meet? At what part of the journey was Rebecca in your life?
So I moved to Vancouver maybe like 8 years ago. I was doing some personal training. I originally came here for school, actually.
What were you going to study?
Got too expensive. Athletic therapy.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it got too expensive. I was like, fuck, I need to work. So I found a job, and then I ended up finding a personal training job. And then I decided to do independent because I felt like I deserved to just be independent. And she was actually one of my clients.
No way.
Yeah, I was being professional.
Yeah.
And I would just see her outside of our sessions, just like at concerts and stuff like that, just randomly. Yeah. And then I crossed the barrier and started texting her, and then that was game
that
over.
Was it. And then we were
yeah.
And then so Rebecca, I mean, he's going to answer for you, but you can nod or confirm or deny with the head movement. So when you first text her and kind of like shot your shot, was she like a little shocked or was she about it? What happened?
No, she's a big MMA fan. So how we started texting each other.
Heart. Okay.
Yeah, we were just shooting the shit about texting back and forth about one of the cards that was going on.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of how it started.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. And then now you guys are married how many years?
We're actually getting married next month.
Okay, so have you been engaged for
We've been engaged for like a year-ish now. Yeah.
Awesome. And then you guys now start a business together.
Mm-hmm. We got
Quinit Boxing Club. What year was that born? Exactly. Because I know I was in LA, I think, when you guys first opened up.
2019, I believe.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what a growth and a journey that has
crazy.
been.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about the birth of that and like just how it feels now to look back on how far you guys have come.
Yeah, the opportunity kind of just sat on my lap. Actually, I didn't even want the opportunity, to be honest. Yeah. So it just sat on my lap, and me and Rebecca were kind of saying, like, honestly, we were traveling quite a bit when we first were dating. And I'm like, I want to keep traveling, man.
Yeah.
Because I know once we lock this in, like, I don't have a life, which I don't right now. So I was kind of hesitant to do it. And honestly, I'm a competitor through and through, in the sense that like I still have the itch, man, sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it kind of sat on my lap, like, and it just came out of nowhere. And I think just the experience that I've had boxing and being at a good boxing gym, United in Winnipeg, I think me just doing it for a while, I was able to grow the gym the way that I wanted to.
Yeah.
It wasn't just 2019. Like, it's been since I was a kid. I've been boxing since I was like 15. Right. I was in a good gym. I used their blueprint a little bit in all my experiences. Like, so it came through and up to this point.
Yeah. So what kind of core values did you bring consciously into the gym?
Family, like, yeah, you come into the gym, I say, what's up to you? You leave the gym, I say, yo, have a good day. You know what I mean? Those little things come a long way.
Yeah.
So the culture in the gym, we had a great culture at my gym at United, and I kind of kept that. I think it's a big part, and like, we have a community change from passion right on the slap on above the ring. So culture is a big important thing of our gym.
Yeah. Yeah, and it shows. It definitely shows. Every time I go there, I'm always like really impressed.
I mean, going into a boxing gym, guys, their shirts are off and they're fucking. It's very intimidating.
Yeah.
But nah, man, it's not.
It's
skills
amazing.
Pay the bills.
Yeah, and amazing like how big of a difference just a hello and it can make, right? Like I remember going in a wild card in LA and you know, just Freddie or his assistant just being like, "Hi, Canada." They call it Canada, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, all of a sudden I'm like, I'm disarmed, right? Because that's not an easy gym to just like walk into with your gym bags, you know, put your shoes on and just start working, right?
Totally.
So that was always it's those little things that build such a culture and community that perpetuate and they build upon themselves. And then next thing you know, you have something like what you both have built, which is just awesome. It's kind of like a cornerstone of Vancouver for boxing culture and boxing gyms. And you have an awesome amateur team. You guys have been representing all year.
Yeah.
And now you have a bunch of pros that you're working with. So talk to us a little bit about, right now you're working with, you got Josh Johnsey.
Yeah, Josh is coming to the gym. We're just doing, he wants to get his hands a little bit better.
Yeah.
He's still on the fence if he wants to fight again.
This is what I heard through the grapevine. Okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, he's
But he's a student of the game,
He's
man.
fucking- yeah, and he's such a talent.
He's gonna be doing this shit forever.
Yeah.
Like, fight or not fight, like he's a student of the game. I've been really having a lot of fun with him. I mean, he's from a family of fighters.
Yeah.
And he's just a total student. I've been really liking training with him.
So let's say you take an athlete like that who's, so high level in a similar discipline, but not completely aligned. What do you as a coach bring to elevate his boxing game?
Just the speed. Out of all, I truly believe this, that out of all the combat sports, boxing is the fastest. Like it takes a long while for a kick to get to you.
Yeah.
My jab's gonna get to you. My cross gonna get to you really fast. So it's kickboxing, Muay Thai is very clunky. MMA is a little wild, which you can be because the gloves are so small. Like if I'm throwing this from here, if it lands, you're done. I don't care if you land a jab on me. So it's boxing is very precise and it's very fast paced. So a kickboxer usually I show them the speed that they could get to and the fluidity that they could get to and the hips down because they could have their feet above the ground because they need the check kicks, they need to kick, so they're not as grounded.
Right.
So when I get a kickboxer, I say, soak your feet on the ground, sit down a little bit. So those are the first things that I kind of do if I get a kickboxer.
That's awesome. And then you've also got Eric Bassaran. And I mean, okay, well, let's just like follow up the speed conversation with Eric's hands.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Oh my God. So at what point in his journey did you guys link up? And what have you done to elevate his game since then?
So he just left the national team from Montreal. He's out in Montreal for about 4 years when he was on the team there. He had a surgery for his right shoulder there. And then he moved back because he wanted to go pro. And then one of the coaches there, one of the team national coaches there, Sylvain Gagnon, he's been on the team forever. Like he cornered, I think he cornered Lennox back in those Olympics and Jean Pascal. Like he's been on the national team forever. Awesome coach. Told Eric about me. And then he checked out the gym. We did pads. And then that's all she wrote. We had a meeting with his pops, Robin. Told him that, hey man, I'm willing to do this journey with him. And this journey can be a decade to 2 decades. And I'm willing to do this with him if he's willing to do it. Yeah. And then, that's all she wrote.
Wow, that's awesome. And I mean, we love watching and seeing what you guys are up to. And his, I think he's got an incredible career ahead.
Oh, man. Yeah. Just the caliber he's at. And for me to, in such a beginning of my career, to get such an athlete, bronze medalist, international experience. Yeah. It's a blessing. Like I can't ask for anything more.
And it's a testament to your skill and knowledge and also your ability to teach, right? Because you can be a fantastic athlete, but can you be a teacher? And I think that's what truly separates like the good coaches who can show you a few things and the great coaches, especially who can take an athlete, like, let's be real, taking someone from their very first day ever boxing to like 60% of the journey is a whole lot easier than taking someone from 80% to like top 1% in the world, right? Like that, because that is such a specific,
just little percentages that you need to.
Yeah, absolutely. And everyone else is that good at that level too. So to really stand above,
for sure,
that's a harder formula to execute. So, okay. Now speaking of Shauna Callahan, is she ever going to go pro?
Shauna's funny. Like I was saying, like I have no identity outside of boxing when I was really going into it. She doesn't even watch boxing. She doesn't know shit. Her. I could say like, oh, you know who Pacquiao is? She doesn't know who the fuck that is. So it's cool. And that's it. My coach was like that as well. So that
was Sarah Pusak was saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jamie Ward too. She would always say she doesn't really like now and again. But yeah. Okay. So she's not about it.
She's not. No, I wouldn't say she's about it. Like, but she's interested.
Yeah.
She's interested. Like, she's having some problems with going to the nationals because of her passport. So, we're just keeping our options open.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm always Creeping around, aren't I? Always creeping.
Another amazing caliber fighter. Like I'm lucky
She's
to get.
fantastic.
Like went to Worlds, won a silver at Europeans as a youth. Like,
Yeah.
it's not easy, man.
Yeah, she's like what, like 3-5-time like Scottish champion.
She's not. Is 9 national time champion, Irish champion.
All right,
Yeah.
Shauna, if you're watching this, it's time. Talk to me. And then let's talk about Kadir. How's he doing? I know he had a bit of an injury. After the last
he
fight.
broke his nose in that fight in that first round there. He's taking a little bit of a deload right now, as well deserved. His first fight there with Terrence there, we were lucky that he was training for like a whole year already before then. So he needed this deload quite badly. So he's just resting right now. He's come here and there, but we're probably going to start picking up again. It lit a fire under him his last fight. So yeah.
What's up, everyone? Coach Jay here, coming at you from the Empire Boxing Podcast. I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of Empire Boxing to thank our partners at the Before Company. It is my favorite toothpaste. It's long lasting, and I love that the tube is made with sugarcane and other natural ingredients that make it really good for the environment. So I don't feel so bad when I dispose of that bottle and get on to the next one. Right now, when you go online, use the code Empire10 for 10% off at the checkout. It's listening to you talk about deload. It's so important. Like, you know, I've been around, you know, the amateurs there, and I've been around a few different boxing clubs, and there's still too many people that think more is more.
Yeah.
And you see that sort of those coaching decisions made, especially with the younger athletes, because they're like, you're 21, like whatever. It matters.
Yeah.
Boxing, it doesn't matter if it's, you know, technical sparring or you're just like, if you're taking contact at that kind of volume and you're not deloading and you don't have any sort of, let's call it periodization to your schedule and your programming, how damaging can that be to an athlete? It can limit your potential, I think, for sure.
100%. Yeah. Like we just started putting deload protocols into our gym. Like our team is too big that we need to be pretty on that stuff. And yeah, you could see people's performances really declining because of just overtraining.
Yeah.
And then when I tell them to deload, they come back, they're a totally different fighter.
For sure.
So yeah, it's super important.
Yeah.
Super,
And
super
another
important.
problem with that sort of more is more mentality is that, you know, if your training load increases by 30%, you're at such a high risk of injury as well.
Exactly.
And the next thing you know, it's something stupid and now you're out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Exactly.
You know, so really, really important. And it's super cool to see you guys, you know, spearheading that sort of next level approach to how to, like, not just having a space that people can go to train, but also like you're building boxers, you're building champions. You're you're able to generate that, which is much different. It's more different than just a boxing club where people can come and do their thing. So that's very cool. Now talk to us a little bit about your experience with us on some of the last fights and stuff. We kind of want the coach's perspective on,
No, I've been loving it, man. Like you guys are doing really cool stuff. I mean, you're giving people opportunities. Like I just listened to your guys' podcast with Manny.
What a legend.
Yeah, what a legend.
Some good stories.
And guys like him and girls like River, like they used to have to seek out fights. Like she would travel by herself and stuff like that when she was on here. Same with Manny, he had to go live in Vegas.
Yeah.
Same with Eric. Most of his fights are not even here.
Yeah.
Most of his fights are not in Vancouver. So you guys are giving people opportunities that usually Vancouverites won't get. Like River had her first day fight with you guys, and
her
then
debut.
we got to go to Boston because of it.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
then she's back.
Yeah, exactly.
And so how's Rivers Camp going?
Really well. Yeah. I mean, right before her first fight there as well, we kind of did a mock camp before that, which helped as well. And what's cool about the beginning of fighters' pro careers is it's kind of like the amateurs, meaning that you're basically in continuous camp until you get into the later rounds. So yeah, we've just been riding the momentum. We'll keep going, and we have a really good relationship. And I could see her boxing changing quite a bit. And yeah, she's sharp right now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, we love to see it. We can't wait to see her between the ropes again. Now, okay, talk to us about the itch, John. Your itch.
Yeah.
And we're talking the boxing comeback itch, not any other kind of itching.
Yeah.
So, okay, how does that feel? What does that look like? What could that look like? I don't know.
I don't know.
Tantalize us for a
Rebecca's
second.
making me too famous on Instagram, man. I might need
We're
to
gonna
do.
talk about that too.
I might need to do like a little. Give me an M. Someone give me an M. Empire.
Yeah.
Give me an M on one of the fights here. No, Yeah, no, I think it'll always be, I will always have it. Like
Yeah.
I watched a documentary one time, and Muhammad Ali was like calling his daughter or something, and he like leaves voicemails, and he's like saying, "Oh, I'm gonna make a comeback," and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. She's like, okay, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just always going to be there. But I
Yeah.
am only 32.
Oh,
I am only 32.
you never know. I've been begging JY to start making a. Rebecca's shaking her head. She's like, hell no.
I'm younger than Kadir and River.
There you
I'm
go.
just saying.
There you go.
I'm just playing.
Okay, so let's do a fantasy matchup here. If you were to come back, you can pick anyone, expired or retired or fresh.
Yeah.
Who would it be? Who would you pick?
That's funny. I was just making a joke about to Rebecca, but fuck a fantasy. Let's go, Sonny Edwards. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm just joking. No.
All right,
But-
Matt's making a phone call right now.
Let's go, Bam Bam. No, I don't know, man. It's been so long. It's one of the longest I haven't boxed since I was a kid. But yeah, no. I watch these guys sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I could probably do something with it. I could give them a round right now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And do you ever step in and do a little touch, little jab sparring, anything like that?
What's funny is when we first opened, there wasn't that many competitive guys, so I had to jump in back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's I think it's over.
Okay, all right. Says with a cough under his breath. It's over. Okay, so give me your thoughts on these coaches. Like we're seeing this. Speaking of Instagram, we're seeing these things coming up on Instagram. Where it's like usually, okay, I'm just gonna say usually it's like Eastern Bloc videos or something of like, you got 6 guys on the beach with their hands behind their back, and coach is just absolutely teeing off on their jaws. And it's like, what do you think about this? As a coach, you watch this. Like I know what I think about it. What do you think about it?
It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's insane.
Like,
why
why?
give head trauma? Like same with that slap, that new
Yes,
league,
let's-
that slap game, man.
Let's talk
Like,
about the slapping.
come on, man. Like I'm never gonna let a guy just give him a free shot, man. Jeez.
Bizarre. What's I think the weirdest thing for me is like humans, like we're such a mob fickle, bloodthirsty like race, aren't we? But there's a side of most sports that involve some sort of combat where I'm like, okay, like it requires skill acquisition, and there's a bit of a chess match going, and there's strategy, and there's higher ground, and there's all these kind of things like positional stuff. With slapping, there's absolutely no skill acquisition required for this shit.
Yeah.
And yet we're like about it.
Yeah.
And I don't say we as in me or really anyone I respect and know.
Yeah.
But like, so why are people into this?
I have
Is
no
it
idea.
just the pure like carnage?
I have no idea.
Bizarre.
But what's funny is I just watched an episode for the first time, and there is little intricacies like the accuracy. Like you gotta have actually pretty good accuracy because there's like I don't know, you guess a clubbing rule or some shit. It's funny because I'm watching it and Dana White doesn't even know the rules. He's like, what just happened there? But
He's just looking at the money in the bank account. He's not looking at the actual.
yeah. I guess people just like when guys get dropped and shit like that, right?
It's so silly. And then we've got like Volkswagen, like I don't know, jiu-jitsu and like phone booth MMA and all this stuff. When will it end? Where does it end, John?
I have no idea.
Where does it end?
I don't know. It's all those fucking. You ever see those like group people fighting and shit? Like,
ridiculous.
it's always in Russia or some shit. Like I don't know where they.
That Eastern Bloc, man. You know
It's
who we need right
crazy,
now? We
man.
need Artem to give us a heads up. on what is going on over there? Next thing is gonna be like 2 babies in a crib or something.
It's
like
crazy.
I don't know what. I'm gonna get canceled for that for sure. Oh God, yeah, it's so sad to me. Okay, speaking of sad, predictions on our boy Tommy Fury and Mr. Jake Paul. What do you think is gonna happen?
I don't know. Actually, I was just looking at Fury's box record. And the last guy he fought was decent, actually, or he had a decent record. I don't know.
Let's face it, Tommy Fury's.
I don't know his history. Like,
He's
did he?
not
Do you know if he
bad.
like boxed? Like, how many amateur fights did he get, or anything like that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
I think
much.
he's on the coattails of Tyson.
Yeah.
I don't think he's. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's handsome.
Yeah.
That's-
I mean, I think everyone should know by now that just fucking circle away Jake's right hand, man. That's all you got. Just keep circling away from it, man.
Yeah.
Just try to box him.
But do you think it's rigged?
No. I think it's not. I think it's they
Not
just,
in any way. Not even in the matchmaking.
I mean, I
Ben
think it's rigged
Askren,
that
talk to
he's
me about-
fucking roided out. He's
Well,
probably roided out as shit.
Absolutely. It's probably in his like contract or something that they can't drug test him.
Yeah. But that's the highest levels, man. Like
Yeah.
Canelo's ride up too. Like Baldemir was pretty well matched up. Like that's the matchmaking of the highest levels. Like
I'm just thinking, you take a guy like Ben Askren.
mm-hmm.
He takes it. He takes a dive.
Mm-hmm.
How is that not rigged? Like Ben saw the paycheck.
Yeah,
and he went face down on the canvas.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
this is the magic of Jake Paul, man. We're talking about it right now. Is it rigged? Is it not?
I know.
He's a fucking master.
Jake, if you're watching this. Okay, better predictions. Let's talk about Plant Benavides. What do you think?
I think Benavides got it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't even answer that one. I hope Tommy wins.
Well, we all do. Yeah, but it's not looking good, I think.
I think Benavides. I think he's too
got
much
some
of
power. What did he get? 23 knockouts of 28 fights.
The beast.
Ridiculous
and he's
percentage.
So big for that weight class.
Yeah.
Like he's truly a light heavyweight.
Yeah, and Caleb Plant's only sitting at like, wow, he doesn't have the power. He's only sitting at 13 knockouts for 26 fights or something, but similar level of experience. But Plant's got the volume. He's slick.
Super slick. It'll be interesting to see if Plant could, if he could outbox him, or if Benavides is just gonna fucking bulldoze through it.
Yeah.
But Plant's on the ride right now. He had a really good knockout.
Yeah.
He's riding off of Canelo. He knows he could compete with the best.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty 50-50 fight.
Super excited for that fight.
I think Benavides got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only downside to that fight is it's March 25th.
Right.
They didn't call me up and ask me first. I'm a little upset about it, but I'll get over it. Okay, Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis.
Man, everyone hates Ryan, but fuck, he's a 5'11". He's huge. He's taller than Eric for a lightweight. And
he packs so much speed.
And his left hook is nasty, man.
Nasty.
He's the real deal. Like, I think people are sleeping on him, man.
What do you think that's due to? Just him kind of being like a young, kind of pretty boy? Like, what is it?
I don't know. There's just some people that people hate. Like,
love to hate.
Yeah, like Russell Westbrook's the beast. People hate him. KD's a monster. People hate him. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think Tank still gets it. I think Tank, like what happened in that Rolly, that was a very long time ago, but Rolly kind of exposed something there.
Yeah.
Luke Campbell kind of exposed those hooks. I think Tank's gonna find a way. His last fight, man, like he looked like he was getting outboxed, and he just finds a way to find his power, man. It's
and the way he can come forward,
it's ridiculous.
He's so explosive.
Like my height. Like how is he? Like he's so small for that weight class, man.
Yeah, powerful.
But I think when people see them doing their face-offs, like it's a big height difference.
Yeah,
huge height difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan, you're right. Ryan is like quite a bit taller.
Yeah.
Wonder what the reach advantage would be if they're. Okay, interesting. So we got Tank. I'm with you.
Yeah, I think Tank knocks him out.
I'm with you on that. And then we've got Taylor Serrano 2.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think about Taylor Serrano 1?
It was close. I thought
close.
You could really say that Serrano might have taken it.
I think you could have argued it too.
Mm-hmm. I didn't do round by round, but just from that one round where Serrano almost got her out of there. Yeah.
Katie was getting her head turned a few times.
She's had some tough fights. Like she I forgot who she rematched. But there was a rematch because I thought she lost that fight too.
She is so tough. There's this point when you watch Katie that she gets the zombie look in her eyes and like you can't even see her pupils anymore, and you know that she's in so deep.
Yeah.
And somehow she comes out of that. It's incredible. And then we've got the 2. So do you think Serrano's on a mission now or what?
I think Serrano takes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she does. Like I think Katie's a little bit on the decline. I didn't watch Serrano's last fight.
I didn't watch it either.
But maybe I'll take a look at that and it'll be a little bit more telling. But I think Serrano's going to take it this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that too. Oh, then a trilogy. Yeah. Oh yeah, huge for women's boxing.
Oh, it was huge. Massive.
Yeah, and I mean, Sinise super bad too. I mean, she's fantastic for women's boxing, but she just murders everyone she fights. So we're not really watching her fight, are we?
Yeah.
Actually, her last fight, she did have some rounds, but she's just so explosive and powerful.
Yeah, she deserves a big fight.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, Kim Clavel lost her fight on the undercard. Eric was just on her undercard, but if Kim won there, that would have been a big super fight for that weight class. But the girl that beat Kim, Mexican girl, I forgot her name already, but that could possibly be a big fight as well down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. So cool. Okay, so let's talk about your Instagram here for a second. Now that I've got Rebecca here, as like just unsolicited advice, just like force her to like help me with my Instagram. This is a real reason why you're here. Just kidding. So what I want to know is, are you just like this all day? And then he's got these little nuggets, and he's just ripping these nuggets, and you just like, what's your data like on your phone? Like, how many gigs you got? A lot. A lot. Okay. So where do these like coaching nuggets come from, Jon? Like at what point were you like, okay, I have a sauce? Or are you aware that you have a sauce? You must be now.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't think I did.
Gas yourself up for us a little time.
Yeah, she just whips out the camera when in the middle of the rounds where I'm pissed off that they're not doing something right. And then
feel that in the forest. Like, right? Like Jedi. Okay.
No, I guess the nuggets just come from being a student of the game and just watching documentaries as a kid and idolizing B-Hop, idolizing Floyd, and idolizing Muhammad Ali, and just remembering little aha moments that I would have when they would say something.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to keep that forever.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my nuggets are just from my old coaches. Maybe I saw it in the documentary. Maybe I heard Jim Lampley say it one time in the middle of a fight. And those nuggets stay with me. And I knew that it was such an aha moment for me then, that it's an aha moment for somebody else.
Yeah.
So those little nuggets just come from just being a fucking loser and loving this sport so much.
We're all losers together. I love it. And that's amazing. And then like pre-show, we were kind of just shooting the shit and picking Rebecca's brain loosely. And, you know, she was saying she can just feel it.
Mm-hmm.
She can just feel it when something good's about to happen, when something's about to drop, and she's in there like a ninja.
Yeah.
And that's so cool. And now you've seen what kind of like, what has the experience been like to have that kind of growth on your social media? What's come of that for?
Yeah, it's been really.
How's that influenced
It's been
our
really
life, Jon?
cool and humbling to know that it's being perceived the right way. Right, we were just talking about like some fighters get perceived the wrong way, like Ryan Garcia.
Yeah,
I'm just glad that I'm being perceived in the right way, in the sense that I am just putting this out here to educate people and give back a little bit. But yeah, it's been cool. Like we just got back from California, people are recognizing me. At Boston, someone's recognizing me as well. So. It's super humbling and it's cool that I'm kind of making a little bit of a change and an impact.
Yeah. So how does that affect what you were talking about before with your identity? How has that changed?
I mean, I'm still the fucking boxing guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. Yeah, like it. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just a fucking loser and just love this sport.
Do you
since
identify
as a kid.
as a coach more now? Would you say?
Yeah, that's funny because like I was telling you that I still got that itch.
Yeah.
And I think as an athlete, I know by now that I'm a better coach than I was an athlete.
Wow.
Which is
That's a huge
hard
insight.
for me to say.
Wow.
Because I think I was a little bit too obsessed as an athlete, and I put too many chips into the basket or into the pot that it would hinder my performance. And now that I'm a coach and I'm kind of like, I'm not much of a coach. Like it actually makes me a better coach because I'm not so fucking invested and all in on it. Right. I mean, I'm still, taking it seriously.
Yeah.
But I'm not as crazy obsessed as I was as an athlete. So I think it kind of balances me out that I'm like, I still, sometimes I'm like, now I am like, I have fucking 40 athletes. I got like 3 pros. Like I'm a coach. Like, but there's still like a back of my head, like, am I really, or am I still a fighter? Like,
yeah.
So it kind of balances out in that sense, I guess.
That's awesome. Yeah. And walk us through a typical day in the life of Jon Quinit. What does your days look like?
Yeah, I have clients. I have don't have that many rec one-on-ones anymore. I really just work with my pros and my athletes. So I have a lot of one-on-ones with a lot of my pros or my high-level amateurs throughout the day. And then usually sparring or a team training in the evening. But it's like, pretty much all day. And then on the weekends, we have a fight card.
Right.
So it's pretty much nonstop.
7 days a week.
Yeah, we have Mondays off-ish. We start meeting days. But yeah, it's pretty much 24/7 right now.
Yeah. So what do you do to decompress, unwind?
Yeah.
When you get a chance.
Yeah, just chilling with Rebecca, what I mean? And playing 2K.
Talking about MMA?
Yeah, talking about MMA, but it ends up talking about the business.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, just walking our dog together. Those little things.
The wholesome life
stuff
things.
that really matter.
Yeah. Everyone wants to know, when did the socks and slides come into the picture here?
Man, I'm Filipino, bro. I should have walked in here with my
I was
my
a little
socks and
disappointed,
Chanel's.
but I knew the camera wouldn't catch it, so we're not inauthentic.
No, man. Like it's just
It's
just a Filipino thing, man. Like we wear sandals everywhere in our house. I went to the Philippines for the first time when I was 9 years old, and they play basketball in slides. And
Yeah.
I play basketball in slides. Like our toes are tucked in there.
Yeah.
No, it's just
rampant.
it's just it's just a part of our culture.
Chanelos, right?
Yeah, Chanel's. Yeah.
Look at you.
Or chanclas in Spanish.
Wow.
Yeah.
Matt has a direct line into the Filipino culture. Actually, I got to try Filipino food for the first time.
Oh yeah. What'd
After
you think?
we went to Mendoza, and then we went to, what was it called?
I don't know. It's right there in the parking lot. I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
What'd you guys get?
I got some pork belly
Nice.
and some rice,
Yeah,
garlic rice.
Yeah.
What did you get, Matt?
We got some chicken adobo.
There you
We
go.
Got the what's the pork one in the red sauce. Oh man. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
tocino
tocino.
or
Wow.
longanisa. Yeah.
It was banging.
Yeah, man.
It was banging.
Yeah, a lot of salt, but
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Really good on the MSG side.
I literally sat in the back of their car, hand bombing out of a paper bag my pork belly, and I was just like, "This is awesome." I have absolutely no boundaries. So, John, what's your favorite music to have playing in the gym? Like, how do you get your fighters hyped up?
I'm an R&B head.
Okay.
But I don't play it. I just let them play. I just play random stuff. I just let the athlete what comes in, but it's usually rap or
Yeah, like some
or
Tupac. 'cause
reggaeton. We
Kadir's
got
there.
a lot of
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We got a lot of Latinos, so we play a lot of reggaeton in the gym.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'll forgive you if you say no, but are you guys coming out next Wednesday to our screening?
Yes. Yes.
Great answer for the podcast. Good job. Amazing. We've been
Bring the whole gym.
Yeah.
Everyone's free. Just bring it.
yeah. Matt, we're at this point. We're like, everybody's
We
free.
want a full impact.
Yes.
Have some Dos Amigos tacos with us. So yeah, we've been working on, we, as in Jason and Matt, they've mostly been putting in the hard work, and I just got to see the kind of like I don't know, what do you want to call it? The preliminary.
The almost done version.
Almost done version, and it's amazing. So I'm super excited to
Cool.
share it
Can't wait
with
to
you
see
guys.
it.
Did you play such a huge role in that as well?
Cool.
You guys have been, such a part of that journey for us too. So what's next for Jon Quinit and Quinit Boxing Club and Rebecca and the whole team? What's next for you guys? What does the year hold?
Yeah, we're putting on events now, so we're just gonna keep that rolling. Just getting our guys fights, man.
Yeah.
Traveling, getting everyone fights, like the way we develop. We have a youth program now as well. We had just two guys just won Brampton Cup. So yeah, man, just making the sport like what you guys are doing as well. Just building the sport and making it. I want to make I think it's the same thing with you guys. Like you guys want to make this a fight city. I'm trying to make this a hub too.
Yeah.
So
Bring that culture to the West Coast.
yeah, and it's just doing events, getting fights. So that's let's keep growing. So
That's awesome.
That's what we're doing.
And what do you hope to contribute kind of as your, second vice president to Boxing BC? Like, what are some of the main things you want to contribute?
We're having some because the sport's growing, we're having some problems with officials right now, like
Right.
getting people interested in doing that kind of stuff. I'm a part of the high performance group for the team as well, and just giving those people opportunities. There's around, I think, 5 people going to Brunswick in a couple weeks to my guys. Oscar's fighting Kioma. Training camps. There's going to be a training camp for the youth training camp for the youth nationals that's coming in July. That we're going to hold some sparring for that training camp. So yeah, same thing, man. Yeah, just again trying to get everyone as elite, because I feel like boxing in BC, it's usually just gems. Like Rock Cousins is a gem.
Yeah.
Eric's a gem. Wasn't really an infrastructure. What you guys are doing as well for the pros, there's an infrastructure now where we could start developing and where it keeps going.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to do for Boxing BC and as my own gym as well, is
Yeah.
just keep pumping out fighters, and we will be more like the East.
Yeah.
I think it comes in generations. If we're not in Ontario or Quebec, it comes in generations. Like Cousins comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, Eric's here now.
Yeah.
But in Montreal and Quebec and Ontario, there's a continuous.
industry. Yeah.
It's a continuous people. Oh, there's a national champion. Oh, there's a national champion every year.
Yeah.
And we need to get it there too.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting. It kind of reflecting on what Manny said too, is that it's sort of like, yeah, it came in generations a little bit. And there was a time where it was really strong and then, fades away until that gem pops up. So that's such a good way of putting it. Yeah. And we're right with you on that as well. And any plans to expand Quinit Boxing Club?
We were actually looking for another place for a while, and then we
Like
luckily
2 warehouses. You guys need some room over there. Hey,
yeah, we're
getting big. You guys are growing.
Yeah, we're growing. Yeah, we were lucky to get another expansion just
right
now.
on.
So we got another 1,000 square feet just recently.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So that kind of holds off on getting another location, but yeah, we would love another location, maybe down the road, maybe in like the Coquitlam area or like Surrey or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how often do you go to that ice cream spot by Quinit? The one that has like 50 flavors or something.
Oh, the
150 flavors.
gelato place there? Yeah. We're there
You guys are haunting that, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. Because every time I think about you guys, that's like mutually exclusive to that gelato place.
We need to maybe paint our thing pink.
Yeah.
Right? It's such a staple.
Yeah, 150 flavors of gloves.
You guys should get the Quinit flavor there. So.
Yo, a collab.
Well,
Come on
they have
now.
the Filipino ones, right? You can get durian.
Oh, do they?
You can get durian. Down
Oh,
there.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow. That must taste like ass.
It smells like ass.
I was just like, look, I've never had that visceral sort of, oh man, so good. John, drop us a couple nuggets.
Oh man,
Drop us a couple.
That's the thing, right? When the nuggets come out, I'm like in
You're mad because they're not sparring.
and I'm in the moment.
Yeah.
Like it kind of brings me back to when I'm fighting. Like I'm in that moment, and it just comes out naturally.
Yeah.
And like before, when Rebecca used to post those things, it's so cringe for me because it's
Really?
such a vulnerable part of me.
Right.
Like that's truly me.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like this is truly me
Yeah.
in that moment. Whereas right now
So raw.
I got walls up right now.
Yeah.
No, but like it just comes out naturally. Like so, I don't know.
So if you had like, what do you like? Okay, let's say beginning stages.
Yeah.
Like someone after their first kind of amateur fight.
Yeah.
What kind of things are you saying to that young athlete to encourage them to keep going? If you think someone truly has like the talent and the ability to pursue it.
Yeah, just if they have lost that one, it's just like, keep your head up. Right?
Yeah.
It's just a learning experience. Keep that head up. Keep going. Like this is a test for you. Like champions get up, like and push through it. So a lot of motivation stuff.
Yeah.
I was saying like I idolize these guys, and like a lot of quotes that I like. One of Mayweather's quotes, or it might have been Roger, but it's just like the gym. I always say that to fighters before fights. It's just like the gym, just like a sparring session.
Yeah.
Nothing more. I also like Bernard Hopkins, one of his that I seen in a documentary or an interview or something. He said that a dream is just a dream until I wake up.
Right.
He goes, "Thank God I woke up."
Wicked.
Yeah, stuff like that, like those little nuggets that I remember. I'm gonna remember it for the rest of my life. But
Yeah.
those little things, I used to like. I eat that shit up.
Yeah. And I mean, it shows that it's really contributing so positively to the culture and the caliber of athletes that are working with you. And yeah, it's we're really proud to have you guys kind of in our corner, and ours and yours as well. Making with that common dream of making not just a West Coast like a boxing notable for boxing, but like also just improving the entire Canadian culture around pro boxing as well,
100%.
right? Like. And it starts with the amateurs, and it starts growing those fresh pros and having those pro debuts and elevating those athletes until they can kind of like get their wings and develop their careers farther. And so it's a pleasure to see what you guys are doing, both on the gram, and in real life. And we look really forward to March 25th and River coming back for another fight, and everything that you guys are doing with her and all your athletes. And we hope to have Kadir back on the shows very soon as well when he's ready. So
Appreciate that.
Jon, thank you so much for your time. I know how busy of a guy you are, so making time to come and chat with us has been awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Cool.
I just want to ask about the 2 babies in the crib fighting. I think we're on to something.
Yeah.
I'm picturing John's gym full of cribs. babies to
and then we
John running around with his wisdom.
And then we roll up when we roll up and we do Empire in the Streets,
Right.
Empire Cribs.
Empire Cribs, right? And so these babies, like, how do we determine which one won?
I think it's like whatever baby cries first loses.
Cries first. Gotcha. So
That's the only way.
Toss that baby out of a crib, and then a new baby comes in, and we have elimination rounds.
I'd be careful with the tossing because
then moving gently.
Then you're dealing with
their mothers
because the mothers are who you really have to worry about in that whole scenario.
So I think we got this because then John gets them really young. So like we're helping the pipeline.
Yes.
And then we get these kids that have they boxed since they were born.
And like what's amazing is I'm not much of like a babies person,
me either.
But like, what's the best part of having a baby?
Watching them fight.
No.
Oh, no.
The shoes.
Oh, the shoes. Yeah, the shoes.
The little fucking shoes.
No, man, they're wearing slides, man. They're going to be wearing slides.
Well, this is the thing, John, is maybe like a baby slides that you can sell out of Quinit with no cue on them.
Guys, you're missing it. Baby boxing gloves. What's cuter than a baby boxing glove? For
nothing.
Fuck's sake.
And the great part is when they're done, you have all these little ornaments that you can just give away for keys. Oh, man, we're
it's
onto
so
something here.
good.
So it's a Quinit Empire baby boxing.
John's
league.
like, I did not sign on this. I did not sign off on this. Rebecca's
this is
like,
totally John's idea. This is going on. Any blowback, and we're going to sign off that it was John's. Actually, Rebecca's idea, because no one really knows Rebecca's like behind the scenes making the clock work, right?
Yeah, she's actually like the Wizard of Oz, like
cool,
the mastermind.
This is going to be an amazing league.
Yeah.
And just Jason with one camera, aerial view over the babies.
And the drone circling the crib.
Circling the cribs. This is fantastic.
Can these babies walk? Or are they crawling?
No. These are
crawling.
These are like first 8 months.
Okay.
So it's basically like slap.
Yeah.
From hands and knees.
Except the babies are just kind of rolling on each other.
No, they need to be able to control their heads. So there's no
So we're
no
saying
fight.
6 months to 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, enough that we can put little mini
Is
gloves.
there weight classes? Do we have to weigh the babies?
There should be.
Measure their reach?
Some of those babies are like,
this is
how'd
awesome.
you get out?
Okay, we're going to keep this quiet, guys. And then when we launch,
This
we'll
is going
then
on the
watch
outtakes.
this episode. Yeah.
Just going on the outtakes. This is just another episode of Jana and Matt's ridiculous ideas and how we don't share them with public because no one will like us.
Yeah, exactly. But it was like my idea earlier of like the
Stripper Olympics or whatever.
Stripper Olympics. Yeah, exactly.
I've made it this far, Matt. Don't bring me down yet.
Sorry. Yeah. Luckily, we can edit this.
John, thank you so much for your time. Rebecca, thanks for joining us as well. And this has been another episode of the Empire Boxing Podcast with Jon Quinit. Give them a follow at Quinit Boxing. And we've got a show coming up March 25th. You're not going to want to miss it. Takeover 2, The Uprising. We've got pro bouts lined up that will blow your mind. And if you're free, and you could cut this out later, Matt, and use this, Jason, March 1st at the Hollywood Theater, we are screening our film, The Takeover. Do not miss it. Roll out, have some tacos with us from Dos Amigos, and watch our screening and a live press conference for Takeover 2, The Uprising. Coach Jay signing out.
What's up, boxing fans? We have another show coming up to you March 25th at the Grand Villa Casino, The Takeover 2, The Uprising. Tickets are available on our website, empireboxing.live. Go ahead and reserve them early. This show will sell out. Not only that, but we are launching a watch party of The Takeover at the Hollywood Theater on March 1st. Tickets will be available very soon, also on our website through Eventbrite. You're not going to want to miss this, as we're going to have a live press conference with the athletes coming for The Takeover 2, The Uprising as well.
Make sure to listen, follow, and subscribe to Empire Boxing on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube.